Hey guys, welcome to a pick a card reading. We are Moonstar Infinity. My name is Becca,
I'm Lena.
and today we are starting off our Chakra series with BTS and MONSTA X. So we have 4 different piles today, and our 2 people that are represented today are Hyungwon from MONSTA X over on the left-hand side, and then Jin from BTS over on the right-hand side. They represent the root chakra, which is the base chakra of your chakra system. It is the stability chakra, is kind of what I like to call it. One of its representative colors is red, and it's all about grounding and being stable. And we basically are doing what is your root chakra trying to tell you.
Exactly. So we have some fun surprises for you, including a deck that we made ourselves, featuring MONSTA X and BTS. And so we hope you like it. And let's get into your reading.
If you chose pile 1, you chose Zigam, which is Hyungwon from MONSTA X's Gom. It's really cute. So we have some tarot cards, some oracle cards, and then we also have charms, letters, and stickers that are BTS stickers. And then the last thing we'll do is we have a chakra deck that we created that is MONSTA X and BTS themed. But we will go ahead and get started with your tarot on what your root chakra wants to tell you. So the first card that we have is the Page of Swords. We have the 5 of Chalices or the 5 of Cups. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. So what is your root chakra trying to tell you? So right off the bat, you have one of every kind of element. So you have air, you have water, you have earth, and you have fire. So right off the bat, like that's showing me somewhat of a balance, but I also feel like something's a little bit off balance here. To me, you've got the Page of Swords, which is usually kind of like knowledge, like a knowledge quest, where like you're learning a new mindset. You got the 5 of Cups, which is what I kind of call the depression card, but it's usually a card about feeling kind of like sad, like you're looking at things that you've lost and not noticing like the good things that are right behind you. And it's kind of like a card of loss. 7 of Pentacles is the card about waiting, so planting your seeds and waiting for them to grow. And then we have the 7 of Wands in reverse over here as well. So for me, I feel like right now you might be feeling kind of stuck, is kind of what I'm feeling from this.
Mm-hmm.
You might be learning something new about like your mental body. So you might be going through something really hard. And what that's doing is that's allowing you to kind of learn a new mindset in some way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. The 7 of Wands, usually when it's upright, is usually about you like standing your ground, but usually it's in a very healthy way. And so it's usually about like, standing up for what you believe in, standing your rights, like. And so when it's reversed, it makes me think that like there might be some things that might be like threatening your security a little bit. So there might be a little bit of defensiveness, um, which is, completely normal and like nothing to beat yourself up about. I think we've all been there when we feel like our security has been threatened or anything like that. But I feel very much so that there is an energy of kind of like defending your turf or your territory. So it could be like if, let's say, just for an example, there is it's kind of like when a baby gets a new sibling, right? And you're not the baby anymore. And so you feel like you have this need of like, well, that sibling is my enemy. You know what I mean? Like when the new baby is born, you're like, I don't want it. I didn't want a little brother or a little sister. Like, and it's that, so I feel like there might be some defensiveness like in the inner child. And that's kind of what your root chakra is trying to tell you. It's like, okay, so what can we do to dig in there to kind of like see like, what are we getting defensive over? And it's not that your feelings are invalid or anything like that, but it's just, what is this wound and how do I tend this wound and make my inner child feel better so that my inner child doesn't have to feel defensive? Because usually what you find out is that as the older sibling, your younger sibling actually looks up to you. You know what I mean? And is, um, they find you to be like the end all be all, like you're so cool and like you're older than them. And so in I don't think we have any 3-year-olds who are getting a new sibling for the first time watching this, but
Probably not.
you can apply it to anything. It could be like if there's a new person at work and like everybody thinks that they're so cool, but for all they're looking up to you because you're a more seasoned employee. And so like like if you feel like your turf is being like stepped on in some way, or something like your space is impeded on, or just something feels off like that in that way, like sometimes it comes down to stopping and being like, okay, why am I triggered by this person or this situation or this thing? And it's extremely hard to do. I know because I have a Leo moon, so I have a lot of pride. And sometimes it's very hard for me to stop and breathe and be like, okay, why am I triggered by this situation? Like, It's not because I'm a bad person. It's not because I wish harm on anyone else, but it's like, why is this? I'm sorry if you hear the barking. It's my dog. Someone is stepping on her territory. You see, it all lines. So, but like, you stop and you have to think, okay, why am I triggered by this situation? What is it that's upsetting me? And then you kind of like dig in there and then you realize like, oh, well, this has happened to me before, or like, something like that, or just in the, or it can even be as simple as maybe this never happened to you before, but you've always been the best at something and now you've met your match and that makes you feel a little bit insecure, and that's okay. And then you just say, oh, well, the reason I feel that way is because I'm feeling insecure. And then you're able to kind of heal that and sit with yourself and be like, well, it's okay that I feel insecure. And, it's not that person's fault, but it's not my fault either. And you just kind of, so I hope that's making sense. Like, I think very much that's what I'm getting from this pile is that I'm mostly focused on that 7 of Wands and in reverse, and how like that's usually defensiveness, because everything else, like Becca already mentioned, seems to be kind of balanced. Like you already know you have to wait for your seeds. You are going through some emotional stuff that I think you're trying to balance out. And so maybe that's part of it. Maybe you're seeing what you're not seeing what you bring to the table, and instead looking at what this new person or this, this other person brings. So there could be some envy and jealousy here. And so that could be making you defensive.
Yeah. And I definitely see like with this 7 of Wands in reverse, usually in reverse, it's about like insecurity. Exactly. So for me, like it's very much about like you've planted this stuff, you've been waiting, and maybe it's taking longer than you are expecting it to. Or maybe you've hit some obstacles or something else is going on right now that's making you think that, oh, well, maybe I didn't plant the right seeds or I planted not enough seeds. Am I going to have enough abundance? Is somebody going to come along and pick my seeds out of the ground? Like, I feel like that's kind of the energy that's going on right now. Like there's a little bit of insecurity, maybe because of a wait, because you have to wait, or you have something that's kind of a little bit imbalanced somewhere and it's making you feel a little bit shaky, which of course with your root chakra, it's all about making you feel stable, right?
Yeah. And like I mentioned too, like before we move on to the oracles, is that it can also be, like I said, like if you're used to being the one that has it all together and is very successful and always has it going, and you see other people that are kind of quote unquote passing you up, because the thing is no one is really passing you up because they're going on their journey and you're going on yours. But we feel that way, right? Like as human beings, like we feel like, oh, like my little sister's getting married before me, like I must be failing, or you know what I mean, like anything like that. And that's not it at all. Like you're on your path and that person's on their path. And so sometimes we see other people's success as our failure, and that's not at all true.
Right. Exactly. So we'll go ahead. We'll get the oracles out for you. So first card that we have is number 41, and it is Love is All Around, Nightingale Spirit. Second one is number 32. It's Hawk Spirit, and it is Let Spirit Be Your Guide. We have Gratitude, And it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I'll move these over here. I have Bloodstone, and it says, get up, get moving, which is actually a root chakra stone.
Mm-hmm.
We have Baby's Breath, which says, everlasting success is assured if you remain honest and true. We have Baronia, which is do not fear or doubt the new paths ahead. And then we have 3 chakra cards here. We have Sacral Chakra, Fire Agate. It is creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. We have Chakra Balance, Cycles. Out of chaos comes creation. It has 4 different crystals on it. It has Amazonite, Carnelian, which is that big orange crystal in the middle there. It also has Peach Moonstone and Red Jasper. There are a lot of root chakra stones on that one. And then the last one is the root chakra, Red Jasper again. So that's a stone that you probably want to look into getting since it's popped up multiple times. And it says, grounding, sink your roots deep, connect them to the heart of the earth.
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like what might be happening, and this is just what I'm getting, so we might have some different messages that come through, but for the message that I'm getting right away is that you might be feeling kind of defensive or insecure about what you've been working on. So there might be something that you've been doing and you're like, I'm not sure if I've been doing this right, or like, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, or you might be kind of sitting on a project or something. And what this is telling me, like with the let spirit be your guide and being grateful for like the opportunities, get up, get moving, and like creation out of chaos, like a lot of this is telling me like there might be something that you're working on and you're a little bit hesitant about it in some way. And maybe you just need to kind of dive into it a little bit more. So you might be not seeing an opportunity, or you might be in an opportunity right now and not seeing the full potential, or you might be afraid to put yourself out there. And I think really what this is saying to me is like, you can get stability by doing the things that you love and like going for that creation and just putting it out there, because it is good enough. Spirit's guiding you. You have support. Just be, thankful for it, but go ahead and do it. Like, you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay to use that creation and to put it out there, and like spirit will make you successful with that. Another thing that I'm getting is you do need to ground. So for me, with these cards over here, like that's very much, all of them are about grounding for me. So a lot of it is about like finding that way to put yourself in a grounded state and feeling stable in yourself and stable enough to put yourself out there in the first place. So you might need to do some grounding exercises, but I also think you need to maybe listen to spirit a little bit more too. So it's not fully like grounding yourself to the point of over grounding yourself, but kind of finding that balance in there of being grounded, but still like taking the leap and trusting in spirit and the universe.
Yeah, I mean, you basically touched on pretty much everything that I was getting. One of the things that I was going to say that I noticed is that there's a lot of green that's popping up, and that very much to me, I got right away from that was green for envy. So like I kind of briefly mentioned before, you might be looking at others' success and seeing that as your failure, because I think most people, like, when we look at someone's success, it's not that we're like, oh, I wish they were failing. It's that we're like, why am I not at that level? Like, I work just as hard. I've done just as much. I've been on this journey just as long or longer. And so we tend to have this thing of like, of that type of mindset. And like I said, we're human. So there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this is not me beating you up or judging, because I can 100% say I've been there like many times in my life of being like, why am I not XYZ? Why don't I have this? Like, why am I not good enough? Sometimes I say that to spirit. I'm like, why am I not good enough? Like, I've been trying so hard. And, I mean, I think that like over this course of the spiritual awakening, I've grown a lot in that, like, I don't do that as much, but like, it's still happened. Like, I'm not going to pretend it hasn't. And, you know, so it is very easy to get green with envy. And I think the whole card about, like, you know, spirit and, you know, work with spirit is because you need to surrender. Like, you had a couple cards kind of that gave off the impression of like surrendering and letting go of control and like practicing gratitude. And, you know, I've been trying to be really good about my gratitude, like even just thanking for like, you know, even today, like I know that like I was doing a spiritual shower, which might be good for you too. Like if you're feeling stuck, is to just like stand in the shower and like pretend that the water is, well, not pretend, like see it like in your third eye, like everything is being washed away that's no longer serving you. And even in the shower, you can pretend that, again, not pretend, why am I saying that? Imagine that roots are growing from the bottom of your feet into the earth and like sinking in, because that is a grounding exercise. And that might be something that works for you. And, you know, but even like I said in the shower lately, I've been thinking even for just the littlest things, like, thank you that I have legs that work, you know, thank you that like I have, you know, candles that I can light for protection. You know, thank you that I was allowed to enjoy a little piece of chocolate today. Like, you know, those little things. I know it seems small and it kind of seems silly, but when you start to come up for things with a more grateful heart, you really do start to see love around, like the Nightingale card says. Like, you start to see that love is everywhere. And you do start to realize the gifts and things and the potential that you actually have that is all around you. That, like I said, especially with that Five of Cups energy, like there is something that you have, whether it's a gift, whether it's ideas, something that you bring to the table, whether it's family or a support system that you don't see. And so I think like the reason they want you to focus on gratitude is because it is going to open your eyes to everything that you do have.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, like I also, what I do as far as gratitude goes, like when I start my morning, the first thing that I do is say my gratitude. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll go find, if the sun is out, which lately it has been, I will go find a spot and I will bask in the sun and I will say my gratitude while I'm doing that. I also know that like earthing could be something that's really good because I'm getting a lot of like earthy colors here. I think that if you are in a place where you can go out and kind of sit in the grass or on the ground somewhere and kind of earth and kind of meditate to yourself or just kind of say your gratitude or say affirmations to yourself. Again, with the roots, like that's a really important visualization because if you're out in the ground, it's a lot easier for you to visualize yourself having those roots dig deep down in the ground. And that's going to kind of pull you down into the earth and ground you. And I think that music is also something that's really big as far as grounding goes, especially for me, anyways. So, what I like to do is I have a little sound bowl that I like to play, and I'll play it for however long I feel like I need until I can feel like I'm more grounded or more stable. But I definitely agree that, you know, affirmations and doing your gratitude is a really big deal. And saying you're grateful for things like the food that's in your home or the roof over your head or the fact that, you know, you can use all of your limbs or you can listen to BTS and MONSTA X or, you know, you can see things or you have these specific gifts. Like the more you say gratitude, the more you start to notice the things that you do have. And it starts to kind of fill your cup up even more because you're more aware of all of the gifts that you already have and all of the good things that are already in your life. And that helps you kind of stay in that like higher vibe, but also in that grounded space of feeling secure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So we will move on to charms and letters. So we're going to get my little moon tray out here. So we'll do your charms and letters. Let me do your letters first. Okay, we have you. Okay, so for your letters, we have N, U, U, T, V, Q, and O. So those could be initials. They could bring up words. You know, it could be an important letter to you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And then do your charms. And so in the charms, let's see if we got any more letters. We got another O, so that could be significant for you. And then we have an M as well. Okay. We do have some MONSTA X hijackers here. We have, this is Hamgom, which is Kihyun's Gom from MONSTA X. And then we also have New Gom, which is really funny because we have new. But we have New Gom, which is Shonu from MONSTA X's Gom. Respectively, this is for the sign for Hamgom is a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. And then we have New Gom, who is a Gemini. So yes, those might be important signs for you. You might embody them. If you know anything about MONSTA X, you might have a connection to that specific idol, or if you have personality traits or know somebody that's important to you that has them, that could be why those popped out for you.
I also noticed in the letters we have the initials for November. So you might feel like, not feel, wow, I am just not on it today. Mercury shadow period, everyone.
Yes.
You might find that this is actually a very important month for you, and especially because we have so November month, so that makes me think that also Mo is the nickname for my dog. So hey, I said, maybe you have some defensive,ness like my dog there that she was barking earlier in your reading. So
yes, it's very possible. You could have, I also found the word ton. Yes. So I feel like for me, like that tells me a lot about like you have a ton of things around you, or a ton of people, a ton of support, a ton of love, but you also have a ton of abundance that's coming in. So whatever you've been working on that you're feeling a little bit insecure about, like one of the reasons why maybe it's taking longer than you are expecting it to is because of the amount or how big that manifestation is. So just keep in mind that like, even though some people around you might be getting things that they've been trying to manifest, their manifestations might not be as big as yours is. And it might just not be the timing for yours yet. And as much as that sucks, like, I also know that, for me, that's something that's hard for me, but gratitude, grounding, doing all those things is going to help you get to that point faster and with less stress.
Yes, I also noticed mount in your letters. So like she mentioned earlier, earthing, mountains, hikes, those all feel like they're very important for this group.
Being out in nature is very important. We got love and listen. So for me, again, like you have love everywhere around you right now. I mean, that could be a nod to somebody special that you are trying to manifest, or someone special in your life that you maybe need to rely on. But I feel like you do have a lot of support around you, and it's okay to seek out that support and be like, I'm really struggling right now, and I'm feeling kind of jealous, or I'm feeling kind of insecure, and I just need somebody to kind of hold my hand or give me a hug, or like be here with me, or distract me, make me laugh. Like, it's okay to rely on people in order to help you through this too. And then you have, for a sign, you got Sagittarius.
Well, we had that Sagittarius Scorpio cusp.
We sure did. And it's optimistic is the word.
Yeah, being optimistic is going to be very, very vital for this group.
Yes, definitely. We got the number 2.
Oh, okay.
So again, you could have somebody special. 2 could also be an important number for you. It could be an important date. And as much as I know you're all going to hate this, but December 2nd could be important for you as well. Anything with the number 2 could be important for you. It could be a life path number. It could be, the number of your family. It could be you and somebody else. So that could be an important number for you. And then to go along with that,
okay, I was gonna say it also could mean February, and then you pulled that heart right after. So yeah, I'm
sure
getting that for some of you. And love, so you could have love that does manifest, but it might not manifest until February, which I know again you don't want to hear, but it might just be that's the case.
Yes. Well, another thing, we have a mirror.
Oh.
So that could mean a couple things. So one thing is like maybe taking a look at yourself in the mirror and like saying affirmations to yourself is something that'll help you. Knowing that you yourself are enough and that you don't have to look at other people. So take a look at yourself and not at others because you're
Mm-hmm.
on your own journey. Like that's really big. If this is a nod to go with this heart and this two and this love, that could be a twin flame potentially. Um, I'm not making any promises, but basically with the twin flame, you usually mirror each other, which is why it can be kind of a tumultuous thing. But usually when you're manifesting it, if that's coming in for you and you do the work, like that is somebody that could be your lifelong partner.
If you haven't done the work, it will not be your twin flame that comes in. That will be a karmic because you
Yeah.
have to have some level of work done or that you've been working on. But I don't feel like you haven't been working. So, but just, and we know that there are people that don't necessarily like the twin flame journey, and that's okay. It can even be a divine counterpart because your soulmates or your divine counterparts, or even if you don't want any label on your partner, we can attract people that mirror us in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of whether you believe in the twin flame journey or not, it seems like you are attracting someone that has a similar energy to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. We have this can be either the O or the circle or the zero. For me, I usually see this as the circle because it's a little bit rounder than an O. And with that, usually it makes me think of the cycles of life. So, how things kind of go in a life cycle, they go in a circle. So, for me, that usually says like you might be in a cycle right now and you might just be in a waiting period. And like, as much as that sucks, like the cycle keeps going. So, you will eventually come out of it. So, if you're feeling kind of stuck or lost, just know that like it's a part of a cycle and that cycle will end. So there's always going to be a way to do that. And then another thing with that is if it is a circle, another thing that could be with cycles is you could have an issue where you're going around and round and round and round in your head about something. And so one way to kind of break that is to not necessarily distract yourself, but to do those things that do kind of lift you out of that, and do things that kind of ground you as well. Those things are going to kind of help you break out of any, mind circles that you have going on.
Exactly. I agree with that.
We have the butterfly, which the butterfly is one of my totems, and that's all about transformation. So with the butterfly, usually you're going through a big transformative period. You might be seeing butterflies around. If you're in an area where it's not super cold yet, you might still be seeing butterflies around as a sign. They usually, with like spirit animals, they'll come into your life and you'll get symbols at a time when you need it the most, or when they're trying to tell you something. So for me, this is telling me that you are going through a transformation right now. And so I feel like this group is very much in that cocoon stage where they're
You
just
got a
kind
card
of like,
too about rebirth as well.
yeah, I feel like they're in that stage where like they're ready to break out, but like they're not quite there yet. Like
Yeah.
they're right there at the edge and like they're like, I'm so tired of waiting. And like spirit is like, you know what, it's okay. Just, breathe and you'll be all right. Like
Yeah.
we got a unicorn.
That's magic for me. Like that's the unicorn is kind of rushing it. So I feel like right now, once you kind of get out of this energy and start practicing more gratitude, things are going to come in a lot quicker than you think, because when we stop focusing on like, oh, it's not here yet, or I'm not there yet, or da 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 da, and we just start focusing on love and ourselves and, like gratitude, like it really does, like you kind of forget about the things that you're waiting for, and then they just kind of, even if you don't fully forget, like you're not focusing on it as much, right? Like you're not focusing on what you don't have. So it's a lot easier for that magic to take place. And it also gives me the vibes that there's a lot of magic going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. And so that's very much what I get off of that unicorn.
Yes, and to go along with magic,
The star, hope.
which is all about hope. So for me, with this coming out right after this is telling me like have hope in your dreams, have hope in magic, believe in it because it's there. like trust in spirit. It's coming. Like these things that you've been trying to manifest, they are coming. It's just, not quite time yet. And like, as much as that stinks, like I hate the P word, but patience is really key here. And I think that like believing in that and like still having those dreams and still going after them, like that's going to keep propelling you forward. We have, speaking of spirit, it says angels watching over me.
Yeah.
So for me, again, like you're being very guided right now. And I feel like you might have a connection to angels. You might be really connected to spirit. Like you might really rely on your spirituality to kind of get you through those tough spots, which is a really good thing to do, honestly, is to go to spirit when you really need them and to say like, hey, I'm struggling right now. I really just need some help, because I know sometimes it is hard to give gratitude when you're feeling this way. And so another way that you can kind of get out of that funk is to go talk to spirit and to say like, what do I need to do? What are some things I can do to get myself out of this mood? Like, how can I help? You know what I mean? So I think for you, like that could be important, that you know that you are being watched out for, you're being looked out for, and you have support from the universe and the angels.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the last charm, cute little guy. It's the 4-leaf clover, which is luck.
Oh, yeah, and luck is on your side. And you have the Sagittarius charm, which they're extremely lucky, connected to Jupiter. Jupiter is one of the luckiest. No, Jupiter is the luckiest planet.
Luckiest. Yep.
So to have the clover plus the Sagittarius symbolism, you have tons of luck on your side. But yeah, I think right now it is. I know people don't like to hear this, but it is kind of a little bit of, I think you were getting in your own way. You might be blocking your manifestations because you've been losing faith in them, or because you've been thinking like, oh, I can't, like I'm not good enough, or like I'm not where I want to be yet. And it's like, no, it is coming, but keep believing it, keep giving it power, keep giving it love, like keep watering those manifestations with love. Don't hold on to any resentments, don't look at anyone else, just look at yourself. One of the quotes that I've been trying to like get with myself is because like I said, as humans, we tend to compare ourselves to other people quite a lot, is that the only thing that we should be striving for every day is to be better than we were yesterday. And I think that there is such truth to that. Like there's such wisdom in that, and that like all you can do and all you can control is you being better than you were yesterday, and you being, kind and loving, and, kind and loving to yourself first and foremost, and then kind and loving to others, because you put that energy out and it comes back. So the more that you're looking at, things with hope and things with light and things with magic, and, knowing that you do have luck and spirit and support and all these things on your side, and that you have so much to be grateful for, that then tenfolds like what's coming back to you, just because you're grateful for what you have, even if it's not exactly what you want just yet.
Yep, exactly. And I just want to mention, with the Sagittarius stuff that came out, Jin from BTS is a Sagittarius.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He's sending you some of his luck if you're not a Sagittarius.
Yes. If you are not a Sagittarius, it could be a hello. We will get some BTS stickers here. Okay. Let's see what we got. We have Hobie. Hope.
Cute. Again, hope. Cute.
I believe that's Hobie again, if I'm not mistaken. We have
RJ and Shuki.
RJ and Shuki. They look very surprised.
Yes, so like I said, I feel like once you kind of forget about your manifestations a little bit, you're going to get surprised with a bunch of stuff.
This might represent how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, to me, that gives off gratitude because of the clapping. So it's like, yes, like, and cheering yourself on. If you are in a place where you're not feeling very supported, like you can definitely ask spirit for support and support yourself.
Yes, for sure. I have a couple more on how you're probably feeling. So here is Shooky.
Yeah, frustration.
And here is some anger. Cookie.
Yeah.
This to me, he's either waving or dancing.
Yeah.
With Tata here. And we have maybe some boredom or some waiting going on.
Yeah, I feel like that's waiting. I think that's Chim.
I think that's Jimmy, yeah. This, I believe, is Jin.
Yes.
Giving you some finger hearts.
Yep, finger hearts. Hey, what did I say about him sending you some luck?
And then we have a Cookie.
Yeah. Oh.
He looks
That's a
tired.
very relaxed state, so I feel like that's very important, is to you to kind of get back into that relaxed state.
Yes, let yourself kind of take a breather and then also be playful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a BTS baby.
Cute.
All right, the last thing that we have for you, I'm super excited about it. It is our chakra deck that we made. Each card has a member or the group, and then it has what chakra it goes with, and then a quote or lyrics from a song.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and see which ones want to pop out as far as what the root chakra is trying to tell group number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we did have a lot of green, so I'm not actually that surprised.
Yeah, heart chakra.
But the first one is Tay Tay. It's heart chakra from BTS. When things get hard, stop for a while and look back. See how far you've come. Don't forget how rewarding it is. You are the most beautiful flower more than anyone else in this world. And that is a quote from Tay.
That is so perfect for this reading. Again, like I said, if you've been looking at other people, it's definitely a reminder to stop and look back at where you've come from and like what you've been doing and like how now you are in the place that is, you know, in so much better than probably where you were even just a month ago. There's probably been so much growth, and to know that you have that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the heart chakra might be one that you want to focus a little bit on. And kind of with that, I'm feeling like self-love is important for this group.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like looking yourself in the mirror and saying things like, you know, you are strong and you are beautiful, you are enough. Like that might be really important. The second card is Hobie, J-Hope, the solar plexus. Into my heart come answers from my most trusted. Only one hope, only one soul from Ego by BTS. I'll give you two more. You have a lot of hope in this pile.
Yes. It makes me think of Hobie when he's always like, hope right here.
Yes. Yep. Third one is Jimin from BTS. You have a lot of BTS going on. You have the sacral chakra. Promise me now, no matter how many times you feel alone in a day, you won't throw yourself away from Promise.
Actually, what's super interesting is I didn't even notice that we did that, but if you notice, his shirt says regret, and he's the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is actually a lot about regrets. So I find that, in guilt. So I find that quite interesting that we actually had that shirt that he was wearing that says that. And so you might also actually be dealing with guilt and regrets of things that you didn't do and things like that. And like letting those things go is also a message that your root chakra is trying to tell you.
Yes, and that quote, Promise, is a beautiful song. And with that quote, like, again, I feel like this group really needs to focus on some self-care, on some self-love, and like knowing that, you know, you are good enough and don't stop. So don't give up because you have hope. And then the last one is the root chakra, which is Wani Hyungwon from MONSTA X. It's okay to go slow, which is a quote from Wani.
Yes, which is perfect for this because I think this group is very much trying to rush to the finish line, and it's okay. Just breathe. It's fine. Everything's going exactly according to plan. You are okay. You are on track. Be nice to yourself. Love
Mm-hmm.
yourself. It's
Yes,
okay.
and you actually got an extra one because it flipped out, and you're gonna laugh because it's Wani again. Root chakra, and it is I may fall down, but I can never give up from
Oh, well, I
Fighter.
mean, we have nothing else to say because he just
Yeah.
finished the reading.
He just finished it off for us, but that was your pile about what your root chakra wants to say to you. Please leave us a like, a comment, hit subscribe if you like it. Next week, we're going to be doing the sacral chakra. I forgot which chakra was next for a second there.
So, little sneak peek for you. You can already see who one of the members will be.
Yes. Yep. So keep your eyes peeled. Thank you for watching. We're going to move on to pile 2.
Yes. Bye.
If you chose pile 2, you chose RJ's family, which is RJ is Jin's character from BTS. We have some tarot, some oracle, some charms, some letters, and then some stickers. And then we'll finish off with our homemade oracle deck we're super excited about.
Yes.
But we will go ahead and get started with what does your root chakra want to tell you with the tarot cards. So the first card that we have is called Swiftness. It's the 8 of Wands.
Beautiful.
I know, I love this deck. The next one that we have out is Adjustment. We have the Devil.
Okay.
And then we have Luxury, which is the 4 of Cups.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I know this set of tarot cards is a little bit different than ones that we're usually used to, but I think as far for me as the message goes, I'm getting very much like you have a very quick justice coming in because this adjustment card is the justice card.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about like balance, but I feel like something is balancing out. With the devil, it's not necessarily a bad card. The devil is Capricorn energy, but it's very much about like, it can be about addictions or things that you need to maybe let go of, like that you do as like habits or things that are not necessarily the best. But for me, like with this, like I feel like you might be holding on to something because these two cards together really give me like holding on to like either a mindset or a habit or something and being
Mm-hmm.
afraid to let it go. But like soon that's going to change is what I'm getting from this. Like,
Yeah.
very much so that like this stuff is going to change due to this incoming justice basically that's coming in, this adjustment that's going to happen.
Yeah, it almost feels like there's kind of no choice in the matter for as far as spirit goes, that they're like, no, we're kind of balancing this out whether you want to or not. So you can, because the 4 of Cups generally is a card where like you're kind of sitting there and pouting and they're offering you things and you're like, I don't want it. And so again, I feel it's very much that you're in this mindset of like, they're like, look, here's this. And you're like, I don't want it. It's not what I want. It's not what I signed up for. And Spirit's like, well, that's too bad.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, we're sorry that you feel that way, but this is what's going to happen because this is your destiny.
Yeah, because they are trying to lead you down the right path. And sometimes like we do kind of have to get pushed along the path, even if we're like, oh, why? I guess I'll go. I mean, like, you know, it very much gives me that like angsty teen who like, you know, mom says, okay, we're going to, you know, cousin's house. And you're like, I don't want to go, you know, and then they're like, too bad, get in the car. And then you go and you end up having a super great time.
Yes.
But like at first you did not want to be there. And so that's very much the vibe I'm getting from this pile, is that maybe you're doing things that you don't want to do, or you're being asked to let go of things that you don't want to let go of, or that you're not ready to let go of. Or again, like Becca said, I am getting very strongly about a mindset, like especially if you have Capricorn in your chart, it is extremely difficult. I know because I have a Capricorn stellium, that it's extremely difficult sometimes to let go of things, and it makes things very challenging because Capricorn can be very they're not a fixed sign, but still they're very rigid, and they can be very much like in that like stuck energy, like, you know, very much like, no, this is the way to do it, this is the way to go. And so sometimes it's hard to see past like the logic of like the Capricorn mind, or like to, think like, well, logically it makes sense if this, and Spirit's like, right, but we're going to show you this and this is going to be better. And you're like, I don't think so. And so that's very much the vibe that I get from this group. Like I said, that you're the teenager who's, dragging their feet as they're getting in the car and all pouty, but then has the best time once they're there. So I'm very much getting the vibe that if you just surrender, that swift justice is going to come in all the more quickly, and you're going to be a lot happier that it did than going like the harder way.
Yeah, and for me, like, even though the tower's not out here, I'm feeling very tower vibes. And for me, like, if you know the traditional tower card, there's one person that's jumping and one person that's being like thrown out of the tower. And I feel like if you don't let go and jump, like, you're getting pushed. That's basically what's happening. And they're like, no, honey, like, you need to go. Like, it's time to move forward and like to be on your path. And like for me, another thing is with the devil and with adjustment or justice, they very much are both about balance. So I feel a lot about how like things are going to balance out. And instead of being in this energy where you're kind of stuck with like old habits and things, you're going to now be pushed into this energy instead. So what we will do is we will go ahead and get into your oracle cards to kind of see a little bit more about what's going on. So the first card that we have is Skunk Spirit number 54, Know Your Worth.
Yeah, so that mindset that you have might be, I'm not good enough, I don't know what I'm doing, like, is this right for me? And so Spirit's like, no, know your worth, jump out of the tower and trust us.
Yes, exactly. We have Frog Spirit number 28, which is Clear Out the Clutter. And one thing I want to mention with this is one of the animals that Hyungwon is associated with is the frog.
I was going to say the same thing, so hey.
Hey. Yes. I don't know why I keep doing that. The next one, Discipline, says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to.
See, I almost feel like this group, like you have kind of a duality in that you either are super strictly disciplined or you're not disciplined at all, and there is no in between.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is something, again, that might be being balanced out, or like you might start to find that now you're able to kind of like do both and know when it's time to work and know when it's time to play and know where you need to put your energy and when you need to pull back and let go. I feel like that's one of the things that Spirit's definitely trying to teach you right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Garnet, Ignite Your Passion, which is a good grounding stone for the root chakra. We have, excuse me if I say this wrong, Lysianthus, I believe. Gratitude and grace always look lovely on you. We have Buttercup, which is be ready, the best is on its way. And then we have your chakras, which the first one we got is the sacral chakra. Peach moonstone is the crystal. Fertility, let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. We got the throat chakra. Expression, express your true self. The world needs you. Lapis lazuli. And then you also got the third eye chakra, dreams. The crystal is labradorite. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine. So with this, I feel like there's a lot about kind of working on self-confidence and going through and knowing that like you are worth whatever this is. So like if the reason why you're so stuck in old ways is because you're like, no, I'm not good enough for this, or like I couldn't possibly go for this, like there's no way that I would get there, I just don't think it's going to happen. Like there's a call to kind of ground yourself and know that like you are worth this and this is your destiny. So be ready because it's on its way. And like, you know, one thing that we did talk about in group 1, so you might need to go back and watch that if you are feeling the need to, like if you were trying to pick, is gratitude. And you got that card about gratitude and grace always look lovely on you. And one way that you can help yourself ground and kind of start being in a more positive mindset is by giving gratitude. And it's even with like the small things, like, oh, I had enough money to get a coffee today, or I had time to take a really nice long shower, or I have a roof over my head, or I'm happy that I have, it could literally be anything. I have money in my account. I have food in my belly, like any of that stuff. Being gratitude and gracious about it, and saying like, I have these things and they make me happy, and like noticing what those things are can kind of help bring you to a higher vibration, in the sense of a more positive mindset. And that kind of starts to help you with your affirmations as well. So I feel like gratitude is really important. Knowing your worth is really important. And then igniting your passion for me is very much about like clear out all that old stuff and then create new, because you have fertile ideas, you have passion, express it, live your dreams, like do all of that stuff and replace all of that old energy that like you no longer need, that you don't want, because when you feel it, you're like, that's not really for me anymore. But like, I also am too scared to go forward because I don't think I'm worth it. Like, clearing out all those old mindsets and all that old stuff, and moving forward into something that you truly are passionate about and that you love, that fills your heart with like happiness and joy, like that's where I think spirit is trying to direct you.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't actually really have much more to add to that, so I will just say that I was writing down things that Spirit was sending, and I think this is more along the lines of things that they would like you to do to kind of help you like get out of this energy, but also to kind of like get out of that mindset, because they're very much focused on like a mindset. So the big thing that they talked about is affirmations. So having affirmations that hype you up, letting loose, not being so tight on the reins on yourself about how you should do things, when you should do things. Like if you make a mistake, let yourself breathe. It's okay. Dancing, being your own hype man, movement. So, if you're feeling stuck or hard on yourself, like sometimes, that's when we don't want to do anything the most, but that's also when we need it. So sometimes that can be the time when you're like, okay, well now I need to meditate, or I don't feel like meditating because like I'm already upset. So instead I'm going to put on my favorite songs that, either, and this can go either way, because I feel like you as this group also have trouble processing your emotions. And so you can express that through your art and your like, music, paintings, scrapbooking, if that's something that's coming through. So you might be someone who scrapbooks. So like, hey, get some scrapbooking on, get some music going. It can be singing, it can be, or even just if you don't feel the need to cry or like, punch your pillow or anything like that to get out that repressed emotion that's trying to come up, then it can be also turning on hype music that makes you dance, that makes you jump, that makes you laugh, that makes you kind of, come out of that energy that's, and that mindset that's keeping you stuck. And like when you hype yourself up, you do quickly start to realize like, oh, now I kind of get it. Like now I'm like, you're like, now I'm, you kind of, it's a lot harder to doubt your worth when you've hyped yourself up. And so I think that's very much the energy that like I'm getting for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just danced in my living room by myself earlier to Follow by MONSTA X and a couple of other really hype songs. And like that gets that energy moving and like lets you kind of release that like stagnant stuff that's in there. And it definitely helps uplift your mood. And like you might feel kind of silly doing it at first because you're like, oh, well, I'm just in here dancing, whatever. But like when you have movement in any way, like when you do yoga, when you go to the gym, when you take a run, you go swimming, you play, football or whatever, like when you're out getting that exercise or movement in some way, like that helps loosen up all of that energy, and that can help you bring that stuff out. It might not completely pull it out. Like you might find that later that day, you're like, oh gosh, all of a sudden I feel like I need to cry. Like, and that's because that energy is getting loosened up so that you can get rid of it. And if that is the way that you need to get rid of it, like it's okay to like cry. It's okay to, you know, release those emotions, and like it doesn't make you any weaker for it. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. That's a way to release that, and you're going to feel so much better after you get all of that out.
Yeah, especially because you have that frog that's about clear out the clutter. And like, yes, maybe you have clutter in your room, which like also cleaning up your room and your space can help you kind of declutter your mind. But I am getting that it's almost like there's clutter inside of you more than anything else. Especially because we have like you have the yellow flower with the buttercup, and then you have the yellow flower on the skunk. And so that's giving me, again, like vibes of like your self-confidence is taking a hit. Like the solar plexus is really dimmed because there's a lot of color. Sorry, not a lot of color, a lot of emotions that are repressed inside of you that need to come out. And like usually, yes, our emotions are connected to our heart chakra. But I feel very much for this group, but because I feel like there's such a lack of self-worth that everything is being held in your gut. So you might get like a lot of tummy aches or like indigestion and things like that. Like it might be really sensitive, and it's because you're holding a lot of this like sharpness, I feel like, in your gut. And so again, like dancing, moving, like singing, like that's going to help pull that all up and out. And you know, you can again also transmute that pain into art. And so I feel like, again, that's very important for this group. And I just wanted to mention that before we move on to the other things.
Yes, of course. I totally agree. We will go ahead and we will throw you some letters and some charms. This one that's hanging there. Okay. So what we have here, we have CIE. Okay. So we have CIE, TON, and Q in the actual letter blocks. So those might be initials. Those might bring up a word for you. They might bring up dates, months. So we have NO. We don't have a V, but N I can feel for November, which is the current month that we're filming this in, but also could be an important month for you.
I also see 10, so November 10th could be important, or December 10th, or any 10, something like that could be quite significant and some type of synchronicity for you.
Mm-hmm. I also see note. So writing might be important for you. You might be somebody that does really well with like journaling, or you might be someone that likes to make lists of some kind, or you might like to research and take notes on it. You might be somebody that likes to study. So if that's a message for you, like that might be a way that you can ground and kind of, you know, release and get yourself into a space that's a little bit higher vibe.
Yeah, again, too, I get with Q, quick. So things are going to happen quick.
And there's a 10 on that too.
Yep, which is completion.
Yeah. So in the little letters, let me get those out here. We have some repeating letters too. We have M, B, N again, V, C, X, and T.
Okay, so you do have some repeating letters. So N might be extremely important. And you do have the V now, so you have November. You also have an M, which makes me right away think mint. So I'm thinking like mint could be an important herb for you, like mint tea. That also can actually help very much with stomach issues. Mint tea is very good for that.
Definitely. We have, let's see, we have the 3.
I love that. That could be your life path number. That could be a number that's important to you. Also, really quick with the B, I am picking up blessings. So you could be getting a lot of blessings.
Yes. Hold on one second, Lena. Steps. He's being but okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So with the 3, I also think like, you know, that could be life path number, but 3 is also a divine number. So 3 is a number that's really important in like spirituality itself. So that could be, you could be someone that is spiritual. And the reason why I say that again is because you also have the angel. And then let's see what else we got here. Oh, I missed a K. If you hear anything, it's just my cat. Just ignore it. The first pile we had Lena's dog, and in this pile we are featuring my cat. So it's great times.
It happens, man.
We have journey.
Yeah, enjoy the journey.
We have wander.
Okay.
We have Pisces.
Okay.
Which is intuitive.
Yeah, trusting that intuition. This group struggles with that. You don't trust yourself, which means you don't trust your intuition. And it's funny because your intuition is linked to your third eye, but it's also linked to your solar plexus. So again, like I said, that solar plexus needs some work.
Yes, definitely. We have Leo.
Bold.
Which again, and Leo is generous.
Yeah.
We have a couple different moons. So we have 2 moons here.
Cute.
Which makes me think of the song Moon, which is a song that Jin from BTS wrote. Good song. You should listen to it. But also the moon is also about your intuition normally. So again, I feel like this group is very much needing to trust their intuition and to follow their dreams. Like I'm feeling very big, like go after what your dreams are, trust your intuition, like trust your gut is one. I also see on this one, it has like a wing and a crown. So for me,
so
like
you're very much divine. Your dreams are divinely guided, and Pisces represents the moon in the tarot, and they also are very dreamy signs. Like they're known very much as the dreamers. So you guys might need to get into that Pisces energy of dreaming and not so much in like a rigid energy.
Yes, and then with this one, because it has a star, have hope in your dreams is what I'm getting from that. And then with that, now that I said it, you also have the star.
Yep, having hope and faith.
Yes.
If you don't get a Hobie card, I will riot.
I know. You have the key ring.
Yes, you have the key to your dreams. The destiny, it's in your hands. Like Spirit has put the key in your hands, and they're like, come on, follow us. We're going to lead you to the lock. And I feel very much that this group's like, I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah, I feel that too. We have I feel like there might be some love situation going on in this group. We have the 2 swans in the heart. So you might be manifesting someone into your life that is important to you in a romantic way. If not, like this could also be about self-love, loving your inner child, since this swan is smaller than the other one is a big part of that too. Yeah. Another thing with that is like just that love is around you and you already have love. Or for like a very select few of you, one of your issues might be that you block yourself from feeling love from other people. So you might already have someone in your life that is important in that way, but you might be having a hard time opening up to them because that might be something that you're working with right now.
Yeah.
We have the little bicycle with little hearts.
Yes, which reminds me of that journey card, or was it a card or a charm? Something. Yeah, it was the charm that said journey.
Yeah, that one. Yes, which with that, we also have the Eiffel Tower.
That might be important for you. Or I'm also picking up something that there might be a past life in Paris or like in France or just like that type of era, that type of something about that is very significant. And so maybe like there is something that past life can teach you, or you might have gifts from that past life, or maybe in that life you did trust your intuition and spirit wants you to go back and look at it to see what it is that you've done before that you can have again. Because usually like a lot of people think that past lives just are like you go back and you see how you died and like how that traumatized you and like messed you up for this life. And like, well, yes, that can be it, because sometimes you do need to heal those things. Sometimes it's also about what our past life wants to teach us and what it wants to give us and what it wants to remind us of the gifts that we already hold inside. And like I said, since you had those keys, which tells me that you already have all the answers, I think that's very much like what I'm picking up, is that anything that you need to learn from the past or like a past life is probably more about gifts that you have that you've forgotten about, that they want to remind you of. That they're like, look, you have all these tools in your arsenal and we want to help you grow them and prosper them, but you have to trust us. You have to know that they're there. You have to trust yourself more than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. We also have another crown.
Oh.
So for me, that's again about like loving yourself and treating yourself like with royalty, like as royalty, like you are the number one person for you. And like you should pay attention to the things that you want and that you love, and pay attention to your intuition, because you deserve to. And like it's about like knowing that like you do deserve whatever this is. Like you're good enough for this.
Yes.
We have the flower.
Cute.
Which I think right now, like Spirit's trying to kind of get you to blossom. So they're kind of trying to open you up. And I feel like that's what that charm is about. We have Pegasus.
Yes. Again, that gives me like divinely guided things coming in quick with that 8 of Wands that we had.
Yes, definitely. We have the peace sign. Let's see if it'll. So I feel like you really need to find a way to have peace, like to put more peace in your life. Like I think that that's something that's really important for you, is to ground and kind of find a space or find something that brings you that peace, so that when you are going through things that are hard, like focus on that instead, and that'll help you stay grounded.
Yes, definitely agreed.
You have the seahorse, which is funny because you had a card about fertility, which
seahorse.
This is a symbol of fertility.
Yes.
Yes. So with that, I mean, I think fertile is in like creativity. So like creative wise, I feel like you're very fertile right now, and that you could use those gifts, and those gifts are going to help you stay on your path, but they'll also help you stay grounded, and they'll help you kind of connect to your higher self and be in a better place. We also have the mermaid.
Yeah. If again, flow, like that Pisces vibe, again, you need to get into a flow. Mermaids again are also magical, so believing in magic, like believing that it's real, trusting yourself, knowing that like you're a magical mermaid all on your own, like you have power. Mermaids are also known as like sea witches, so again, like if you have power and you need to acknowledge it.
Yes. And then the last one that we have is the circle. So with the circle, there's a lot of different things that you can have with the circle, but with me, like for me, with this group especially, and like again, I feel like you should go watch group 1 if you picked group 2, just because we also had the circle in group 1. But the circle for me with this group is all about mindset. So going in circles in your head about something, and like being kind of stuck in this, like, well, I'm not good enough, so like I don't even think it could happen, and then like kind of getting down on yourself because you've got this like cycle going on in your head that you need to break. So I feel very much like that's what the circle is about for this group.
I agree with that.
Definitely. We'll go ahead and get some BTS stickers for you guys. That was a lot of stickers.
Yeah.
So they really wanted them. Okay. So eat healthy, take care of yourself. We got Cookie here eating a carrot.
Cute.
We have, again, Hobie.
Hope. Have that hope. That was also in pile 1.
Yes, it was. We have, this was also in pile 1.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like this group's also going to have a surprise come in.
Yes, a surprise. Yeah, good things are coming your way. Luck is on your side.
Oop, I dropped him. Sorry, Cookie. Okay.
Cute. Again, that's a very surprising face to me. It looks, that group looks, that sticker looks caught off guard. Wow.
I feel like this is a representation of your anxiety right now. We have running.
Yeah, that again, that gives me that 8 of Wands. Like they're running, they're getting there, they're going, things are coming.
Yes. We have Cookie with his plate of food that did not turn out well.
No. Cute. But for me, again, this has to be like, sometimes I think that you might have been trying things and like, you know, you see how he's blushing, it gives me like, you might not be getting everything perfectly right, but it's okay. Like knowing that it's okay to mess up is something that's very important for this group. Yeah, again, you need some comfort and some love. Like you're definitely very hard on yourself, very scared, sometimes don't want to get out of bed.
You have movement again. Like this is them doing everything that they love to do.
Yeah, this also gives me travel vibes. Like they're all in different places, so seeing like different places.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is you getting on those big boy pants and getting out there.
Yes, definitely.
I feel like that's overcoming this anxiety that you can.
Yes, shining through it anyway.
This gives me very much that you're like, no. That's like stuck in that cycle that you have. You're
Yes.
like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not good enough. And it's like, no.
Yes.
Yeah, shoot that love up at yourself and send it out into the universe at the same time.
Yes, the more love you send out, the more comes back. Music, dancing.
Movement.
Yes, movement's important. I feel like this is very much a representation of worry. Like you might be feeling like you're stuck or like things are not moving. And
yeah, very much so. ...
We have Yoongi in the RJ costume.
Yes, that's also, again, gives me that vibe of like you're exhausted.
Yes.
Maybe a little grumpy too about things.
Running.
Cute. Yeah, again, running. But that's almost a panicked running. So that's almost running away from like issues and feelings. And because there's like water droplets, I'm getting like running away from your emotions.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, having issues tonight. Okay. Cute. So a little pat on the head there, a little head rub. So you might need some affection or a pat on the back. So take compliments as they come. And like when people offer you affection, like don't push them away, because I think that like you do need that right now in your life. And like it's okay to accept help and love from other people.
This is the group that had the Four of Cups, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so that Yoongi sticker also gave me the Four of Cups vibe of like, ugh, they're offering me this thing and I don't want it. You know, that sticker gave me that same vibe.
Definitely. I have a couple more here. We have dancing.
Yeah, again, dancing, having fun with friends. I think you have some good friends in your life that you need to spend more time with.
Yeah, definitely.
People that lift your vibe.
Yes. We have Hobie.
Oh, cute.
Yes. So have hope. And this looks like excitement to me.
Yeah. Being excited, getting back into that excited mindset.
Definitely. Then I have 2 more. We have.
Yeah, you're questioning things right now. You're questioning the universe, you're questioning your place. And there's a lot of like, but and this, and I don't get it. And what do you mean?
Yep. And then the last one I have is little cookie.
Yeah, again, it comes back down to accepting love and giving love.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right. So that is what we had for the stickers. So with that, we're going to go into our most exciting part, which is the deck that we made. This is our chakra deck we made. Each card has a member or members on it, and then it has a chakra and then either a quote or lyrics from one of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we will draw 4 of these for you guys. Go ahead and do it here. Honestly, with some of those stickers, a song that came to mind for me was Run by BTS.
Yes.
I feel like that is a song that you should listen to. It's also a song that kind of could get you moving as well. So
yeah,
that could be a good one for you to start with if you don't know what that song is. It's great. First card is the one I just showed you, actually. It's the sacral chakra. This is Juhan from MONSTA X, or Juhani. Don't live passively is a quote from him.
Makes perfect sense for this group to not live passively, because I think you, like I said, you're in that 4 of Cups energy of like, well, I don't want it, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait until you give me what I want. And this, it's like, that's not how it's gonna work, baby. Yeah. Sorry, get up.
Yeah, nope. Sorry, that's not how we do in this family.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let your life pass you by because you're afraid of going after your dreams.
Exactly. Don't let it be too don't be too scared, because honestly, like, life is short, and like it is scary to do things that are out of the norm or that are feel less safe, but it's so worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna laugh because, again, I feel like you guys need to watch group 1. We have Kyungwon, root
It's
chakra.
okay to go slow.
Mm-hmm. It's a quote from Wani. And again, we have I may fall down, but I can never give up. Fighter.
Yeah.
X. Another
Don't
song.
give up.
Yep. Don't give up. Another song you can listen to when you want to get hype. And then the last one we have is Chingkyun from MONSTA X, third eye chakra. We are connected, we are one, and you are not alone.
Yes. Trust that intuition. You are not alone.
Yes, definitely. So that is what we had for you.
Spirit
Hopefully,
wants to know what the bottom of the deck is.
The bottom of the deck. Ha ha ha. Well,
Min, yeah, they're waiting for that solar plexus.
I decided to love myself, so please, everyone, you love yourself too. Min Hyuk.
Yes, this is super important for this group.
Yes, definitely.
Min, exactly. He finished off the reading beautifully.
Yes, so that is what we have for you. If this resonated with you and you enjoyed it, please leave us a like, a comment. You can hit subscribe. Next week we'll be back with the sacral chakra, which you've now had a hint at who that is right here.
Yes.
So just know that we'll be putting that up next week, where we'll have 2 other members, one from MONSTA X, one from BTS. But in the meantime, we hope that you enjoyed this reading, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye. If you chose group 3, you chose Hyungwon. We have tarot cards, oracle, we have stickers, charms, letters, and then the last thing we'll actually do today is our homemade oracle deck, which is a chakra deck featuring BTS and MONSTA X. So we are excited about that, but we will go ahead and get into your tarot, which is what is your root chakra trying to tell you? So the first card that we have is the Madre of Water, which is the Queen of Cups in this deck.
Oh, it's pretty.
We have the Four of Fire, or the Four of Wands, which is Elder. We have the Tower, which is Mushroom. And then we have the Ten of Fire, the Ten of Wands, which is Comfrey.
Okay. So Spirit wants you to take those first two cards and move them to the end and have those other two cards be the starting cards.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
So very quickly, their message was very quick and clear. The thing that Spirit is doing is they are right now, you might be in a tower moment or struggling or having a hard time. And you might feel like the weight of the world is on your back. And that's because right now Spirit is clearing out everything and like balancing your emotional body out. So you're going to step into, like, you're going to be stepping into that Queen of Cups energy and that Four of Wands energy, which is basically like good foundations, victory, celebration. So right now you are really actively working on balancing your root chakra. And if it's not already balanced out, it's like about to be. It's like right there. Like you're super close.
Yeah, definitely. And like for me, I know like the Tower card, everybody like freaks out when they see the Tower, but the Tower is really not that bad. And I think that this deck does a really good job of making it less scary, honestly.
Yes, they do.
But the Tower just means massive change or quick change or rapid change, like a big change is happening. So usually it's just a really big change. And I feel like because they wanted this at the beginning, like this has already happened. Like this is kind of something that you're coming out of. And so the 10 of Fire, tens are like completion cards. So for the 10 of Wands, like usually that's a completion after feeling kind of stuck and kind of beaten down, having a lot of burden. So you might feel like you've just been kind of put through the ringer a little bit as far as like burdens go. But it's saying that like you're going to be coming into this like emotional stability basically, because Madre of Water, like the Queen of Cups, is a very, very emotionally stable person. So this tells me that you're in this like nurturing energy right now, which is why you're getting this Queen of Cups, because you're nurturing yourself and you're becoming more emotionally stable. And like Lena said, like if you aren't already grounded, you're really close. And then I was looking at this card really closely because on this card, it has a lot of crafting items on it. Four of Fire. So the Four of Wands is always about like celebration. But this card's a little bit different. It does have the fire going in the background, but I feel like this is very much like creative vibes, which of course we know like wands are creative. Like that's kind of one of their things, but they're also really connected to spirit. And one thing I was noticing is there's this little pillow back here. And it's almost like spirit is overseeing all of this.
Yes, also too, you have that red yarn that's right there on the card. And so that gives me very much like this is your destiny. Things are being woven exactly as they should. Like, you know, the red string of fate, if you will, is like tying everything together. Like, you know, basically spirit has this like pot, right? And it's like boiling nicely and they're adding in all the ingredients and the final touches before they give you like your big bowl of stew. You know, they're getting it nice and prepared with all the correct ingredients and everything that you've asked for plus more. Like,
yes,
they're feeding you well, but it is taking a little bit of time.
yes. I think that with this group, like they've been through a lot. And I think like they're finally getting to the point now where they're like balancing out and kind of starting to feel stable. So we can go ahead and get into the oracle cards. So the first one is number 22, Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion.
Pretty.
It's very pretty. We have number 4, Badger Spirit. Be fearless and bold.
That reminds me of the honey badger doesn't give up, please.
Yeah. Yep. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Black kyanite, which is set strong boundaries. Cherry blossom, return quietly now and be at peace. Jasmine, success will be found if you hold on to hope. And then for your chakra cards, we have the heart chakra. Jade is the crystal. Compassion, resolve your conflicts with compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Chakra balance, harmony. It says harmony makes the song of life sweeter. With this card, you have 3 crystals. You have green jasper, turquoise, and labradorite. And then the last one is the root chakra, which is smoky quartz. And that is strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. So for me, I feel like this group has, like we kind of said, like I already feel like this group has already been working on grounding and like being balanced when it comes to the root chakra. I think that this group is very strong. They've been through a lot. And I think that right now they're kind of at that last step of like balancing it all out. But I think that there's a lot of like greens in these cards. And with the balance, like it makes me think that like you're kind of working on all of your chakras at the same time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what I feel is like the heart chakra is really important. And then with this purple, that brings in like your third eye and your crown as well. So for me, like I feel like those are some important chakras. So you might be working on your upper 3 chakras, well, your upper 4, because your throat is one of those. But I feel like you might be working on like your heart chakra and kind of balancing that out and kind of when I see compassion, I think for yourself. I mean, for other people's, yes, but I feel like this group kind of needs to know that like it's okay to be at peace with yourself and to like take care of yourself and like have compassion with yourself, and like it's okay to not always take care of everybody else. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what this boundary card is too, is to set those boundaries and say like, hey, it's okay to care about yourself and like to do that first sometimes. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to always like take care of everybody else. And that's kind of, it's almost like that's like one of the last steps to balancing out the root chakra.
Yeah, I think right now this group is very much, you have been like, I feel like for a while you've been trying to like lay down a foundation, and it's kind of like, it's almost like spirit's been that like really tough teacher who's making you so mad or like upset or like frustrated, but at the same time, you know, they're also making you better, where like you're laying down a foundation and like you're kind of like, okay, I did almost everything, but I didn't set my boundaries, even though I know I need to. And they're like, nope, start over. And you're just like, I'm tired of going through these tower moments. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, well, start over, set those boundaries.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, is that when we have compassion for ourselves, we do open ourselves up to have more compassion for others. So I know that that seems really like kind of backwards, but it is true. When you help and love yourself, you have more help and love available for other people.
Which brings up this card,
Mm-hmm.
because her cup is obviously full, right?
Yeah.
If you don't fill up your own cup with compassion, you can't fill up other people's cup with compassion.
Yeah.
And so part of being in this Queen of Cups energy, this Queen of Water, is to be able to fill your own cup and be emotionally stable yourself so that you can then in turn give to other people.
Yeah.
Very
Exactly.
much. I mean, this pile was pretty cut and dry, because it feels like they really just are on that last step of like holding on to that hope and knowing that like as long as you're showing yourself that love, like you're, you know, you've already been through all of this. Like now it's time to move forward and like be nice to yourself, and that's how you're going to keep going. Like that's going to push you forward. Make sure you have your boundaries, you know, be bold. Don't let people push you around because you're already strong. You've already gone through all these lessons. So you know what? Use them. And like,
And don't let the things that happened in the past, like with that illusions card, because I know that for me and even for Becca, we both have been told before, like, oh, let go of your illusions. And we've been like, oh God, what are we getting wrong? And it's like, it's really never like that. It's usually your self illusions that you've given yourself, like, as in, like, you know, you think that you're not good enough, or you think that you're not worth having boundaries. It is very rarely like, you know, anything that like you think that you're manifesting, or like, you know, it's not like, oh, I don't deserve love, and Spirit's like, yeah, you have some illusion thinking we're gonna send you love. It's like, no. It's always very much like, no, you know, the illusion is that you think you don't deserve love, or the illusion is that you think that you're not worthy of this. And so I think that's very much like what that illusion card represents. And like, you're starting to finally let go of those things and breathe, and knowing that you are worth love, you are worth those boundaries, you are worth having your cup full, you are worth trusting in yourself, you are worth listening to yourself, you are worth being bold, you know, all the things. I feel like this group is really starting to understand that, and that is why you're stepping into that Queen of Cups energy.
Definitely, I agree. All right, we will move on to letters and charms. Some letters. I'll stick those out, and then I'll do your charms, and then I will move it up so that you can see it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the little silver letters too so that you guys have them. There's a couple K's in here. See if you can see them. There is an N, a G.
You have 3 G's. That might be very important.
Yes. And a B. Okay. So for your letters, we have, I put yay. You have G-U-A-E-U-G again. So you actually have that twice. You have the third G, 2 K's, a B, an X, and an N. So some of those might be initials. They might spark words. For some reason, the word guacamole keeps popping into my head.
Guacamole.
Yeah. August 2021 could be important for you.
August, yes. I was also laughing because I was thinking of, I don't know why, but the YEA is giving me like New Year's kind of vibes, like years, like, so New Year's might be coming, or the new year might be important for you.
Yes.
With the guacamole, I also thought of that meme, the
No, is it the avocado one?
It's an avocado, thanks. But no, it's that old lady where she's dancing the alphabet and she says something about like, what is it that she said? Like, I don't know. She said something about the guacamole. It just made me laugh. Sorry, complete sidetrack, but fun meme tidbit for you. Maybe
look
that
up that
lady's
meme.
Your grandma and you're watching this.
Who knows? Maybe that's one of your favorite memes. But yes, if you find any words, names, letters in there.
Initials.
Yeah. Okay, so I will do, you got a few different signs like astrology. You got Sagittarius.
Okay.
Which is optimistic.
Yeah, this group needs to be optimistic, and luck is definitely on your side.
You got Pisces.
Okay.
Which is intuitive. And then you got Taurus. Which Taurus is trustworthy.
Yeah, trusting yourself plus with the intuition and optimism. Those are all key things for this group, but also those can be signs of like a person you might be manifesting. Those can be your signs. They can be somewhere in your big three. They could, any of those things. It doesn't have to be, but for some people, like that confirmation, they do like to have it.
Yes, definitely. We have life.
From that, I'm getting that life ebbs and flows. So that's something that you might need to remember.
Yes, and to go along with that, we have the tree of life. So growth, expansion, living life to the fullest is really what I think
you
about.
don't get to be a big tree like that without having some firm roots.
Yes, and then putting down roots and making sure that you are strong and grounded is very important. We have a couple of different cat charms. So cats might be a spirit animal for you. Cats are really independent, but they also, they are really wise. They've been worshipped before. In Egypt, they were a symbol of like, the divine. So cats might be really important to you. You might have a cat that is a familiar for you. You might have qualities that are similar to a cat or cat-like.
Yes.
We have the dolphin.
Cute.
Yes, and dolphins are very smart animals. They're very smart creatures, and they do go with the flow a lot. We have the swans that make a heart. So this could represent love, but it could also represent needing to love your inner child, because if you'll notice, one of those swans is smaller than the other. We have, I think this is a lollipop. So this is about kind of like nurturing your inner child and like having time for play and doing things that you enjoy. It's okay to have candy sometimes, like if that's what you want, like kind of treating your inner child and like taking care of them and making them happy.
Yeah.
Kind of what I did with that. Speaking of children, if you've been trying for a child, I think that this pile is telling you that it might be coming pretty soon.
Yes, that too can also be about getting your feet on the ground, and that could be literally like going outside and earthing. And again, if you're in a place right now where it's snowing and things like that, please no, don't do that. Don't get hypothermia. But if you're in a place where like there is still soil and things where you can go and actually put your feet like in the ground, like sometimes that earthing helps. Even if you can't get outside, like just standing, like and breathing in some fresh air, even if it's just for like 5 minutes on your porch, can make a huge difference in grounding yourself.
Yeah, it really can. We have, this came out in the first pile, but we have the keys. Key ring.
Yeah.
And with the key ring, it's all about like you have the keys already for everything that you need and want. Like you've already got them. You have the keys to your destiny, to whatever your manifestations are, whatever you want to bring in. You already have those keys. Like you have them ready and available to you. We have, this one also came out in the first pile, so that might be a pile that you need to watch.
No, pile 2.
Pile
both
2
of those came out in pile 2.
Oh, well, in that case, not the first pile. Go back to pile 2 if that was one that you were trying to decide between. With this is the moon, which is intuition, but with this, it has the wing and it has the crown. So we touched on this in the last pile, but it's about kind of like following your dreams and letting them take flight and using your intuition.
And that your dreams are divinely guided.
Which, speaking of divinely guided, I think that this pile is pretty spiritual. They have the palm, but they also have the angel. So
with that palm, I'm also getting that like energy healing, whether that you need to get some energy healing done to like help you like with your other chakras, or could be that you might have a gift or a talent or an interest in that, and so that could be confirmation to go do those things.
And I think you are very connected in the sense of like spirituality, as far as in like you might already know what some of your spiritual gifts are. You might already be in communication with spirit a lot. Like you might do like daily gratitude already. You might already, use tarot cards. You might already do energy healing. There might be some things that you already do that are very spiritually based. And I feel like when you go to those things, that probably helps you ground, but also helps you feel more connected and less alone, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Peace is really important for this group.
Yes.
So I think right now the whole goal for this group, because we also got that with the cherry blossom was about finding peace. So for me, like, I feel like with this group, like right now, the whole goal is to do things that make you feel like you're at peace. So being able to breathe and maybe go outside and get some fresh air, take a walk, like, eat something that makes you happy, watch a TV show that makes you happy, like give yourself that time to find that peace wherever you're at and to be grounded, but also, do the things you love, because I feel like that's really important to get through these times where you feel like things are too hard or you have a lot of burdens or you're coming out of this moment. Like that's going to help you move forward.
Yeah, agreed.
Butterfly transformation.
Yeah, you're going through that transformation, that transformative tower moment right now. But I feel like instead of being in the cocoon, like you might actually be really close to busting out and being that beautiful butterfly.
I agree. You got the heart with the little diamond on the middle.
Cute.
The crown, which is treating yourself like royalty. And then you also got Pegasus, which with Pegasus, like you might have some connection to like Greek mythology, but you also might just need to kind of fly. So let yourself kind of soar, because right now you have the wings to take flight. And I think it's kind of about flowing with it and kind of just, going to spirit when you need them, but also staying grounded and kind of finding that balance. Because with Pegasus, like Pegasus is a horse, right? Which usually is on the ground. But Pegasus has wings and Pegasus can fly and is magical. So like you also should believe in the magic because it is happening. And instead of being just a horse on the ground, like you have sprouted these wings and it's time for you to trust in spirit and let them take you to higher places.
Exactly.
We'll get you some BTS stickers. Pile 2 got a lot of them. So we will see what happens. So for your stickers, you look a little stressed there.
Yeah, a little stressed and quite shocked. So again, that might be your face when that tower moment hit again. Yeah, lots of stress. You guys need to de-stress.
We have
yeah. Guess who's who? Cute. For me, that's about finding your chill and just kind of also like vibing and being goofy, being silly with your friends, like again, or listening to that inner child, like not knowing the difference between you and your inner child, because not knowing the difference between you and your inner child can actually honestly be a really good thing, because usually your inner child for the most part only when being checked in with and like taken care of really only wants the best for you. And so if you can find that that balance, that duality of being like the adult version of yourself who does responsibilities and things, but also trusts and listens to that inner child, like it's going to be like really beneficial for you. Also off of that sticker's talking a lot, but that could be too like a partnership that you're that could be soul family, or if you are manifesting love, that could be a partnership who like you guys are very in sync, very synchronistic.
Yes, definitely. You have Taehyung with Tata.
Cute. Again, that gives me inner child vibes too.
Yes, which again, Inner Child is a song by BTS and it is by V or Taehyung, Tay. And that is a great song. It's a song that I had on repeat a lot when I was really going through like the depths of my inner child work. So that is a song that I would highly recommend if you are trying to work with your inner child and kind of, you know, get to know them a little bit better, because I feel like it really does help bring out your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another inner child feeling sticker here. We have Cookie with Cookie.
Mm-hmm. Is he holding an egg?
It appears as though he is.
That's very cute. The egg makes me think fertility and a lot of creative ideas.
Yes. So I was just going to say, yeah, the egg is very much about like, exactly, like fertility ideas, like you're birthing something new and like you're holding hands with your inner child and doing so. And so it's something that like makes you and your inner child happy. And like
yes,
that's
and
something
also new life. So like you could be starting a new chapter as well.
Yeah, definitely. You have gratitude.
I also feel like since we just got that where you're holding your inner child's hand, I almost feel like it's a message from your inner child. If you have been doing that work, your inner child is telling you thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And
is
also,
very soft.
It is soft. And also they're trying to cheer you up too.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those things that are being offered. And
yeah.
It's interesting because you can see that Chimmy here is sad. But that Cookie is giving Chimmy love and presence and like coolness and attention. So you have all of this stuff that's coming in for you. And like right now you might feel overburdened, but it's right there.
Yeah.
We have happy-go-lucky Cookie.
Yeah, again, taking things from a more lighthearted approach. This group definitely needs to be a little more lighthearted right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that you guys need to sleep.
yeah.
So with this, he's wearing Puma, which Puma is a very fast-moving animal. And he's very happy. He looks very excited. So for me, like, I feel like whatever's coming in is coming fast and you're going to be very happy about it.
Yeah, gotta go fast.
Yes. You have Cookie and RJ at the movies.
Spending time with some friends, watching a movie, doing things you enjoy, eating some popcorn.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one is Sugar Yoongi. It says, don't repost.
Cute. To me, that gives me the vibes of like, don't repeat your cycles. So like, don't go back into your shadow. Like, don't let your shadow overtake you, especially because he has the song Shadow in BTS again. So if you don't know that song, I highly recommend listening to Shadow. Again, great song to listen to when you're going through your shadow work. For me, the don't repost again, like it very much gives a like, don't fall back into those cycles. Don't like get into your head. Like, you know, remember like your shadow's here and it's part of you, but you don't have to let it win, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now we're going to move on to our chakra cards. So these are cards that we actually made ourselves, and they are BTS and MONSTA X cards. Each one of them has a member of one of the groups or the group itself, a chakra, and then it also has a quote or lyrics from one of their songs. So we're going to go ahead and get like 4 of those for you. I know the first 2 groups got an extra card, so we'll see if it ends up being 4 more. But you can take any of these songs and listen to them and see if they help you through any spots that you're going through and any of these quotes. I highly recommend that you check out these songs and these people. The first one we got is MONSTA X, the Earth Star Chakra. Because of the thorns, a beautiful rose can bloom. Beautiful by MONSTA X. So I think that goes really beautifully with this reading, because it's saying that like, because of all of this stuff, like your rose is going to bloom. So because you've been through all of this, like your rose is going to blossom and you're going to come into like this being of being this Queen of Cups and being in this like beautiful place.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. We have, 1 second here. We have the crown chakra. This is Shonu from MONSTA X. It says when the times tactic flip backwards, it completes the ending. We are connected by a thread. Destroyer by MONSTA X. So remember we had that red thread on the Four of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
So that connects back to that. But it is really about like you have a support system, you know, and like you are coming into an ending because you got a lot about like that 10 of Wands as well, which is an ending card. And like the Tower is an ending to something or a massive change or new beginning. So for me, like that card goes really well with it too.
It does.
You also got the sacral chakra, and it says, I am here, the same person I was from before. This is Jimin, and the song is Lie by BTS.
Yes, I think that this group, I was getting a little bit of that like there might be a little bit of like, especially because we had that thing about like not letting your shadow like take over. I think that there might be a little bit of fear that like either that there hasn't been a lot of change or that you've changed so much that like people aren't gonna recognize you. And the thing is that I feel like now you're actually just stepping into who you truly are and into your true self. And so anybody that is worth being in your life is going to accept and love that about you, and it will not be an issue. And if they do have an issue with it, then you have to know that that's not about you.
Yeah. And again, I think this group has 5 because they're going to want me to have the bottom of the deck. But number 4 is Taehyung, the heart chakra. When things get hard, stop for a while and look back, see how far you've come. Don't forget how rewarding it is. You are the most beautiful flower, more than anyone else in this world. And that is a direct quote from Tae.
Yes, beautiful.
And then everybody's going to be surprised. It's Jin.
Cute.
So, root chakra. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow.
Oh, mic drop.
Mic drop. Good song. BTS. Yes.
He dropped the mic and now we're done.
And now we're done. Yes. So that is what we had for you. If you enjoyed it and it resonated, please leave us a comment, like, hit subscribe. Next week, we're coming back with the sacral chakra, which every group so far has had a hint as to who is in that group. But we'll be back next week with that. Look out for it. But that is what we had for you.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. If you chose pile 4, you chose RJ, which is Jin's character, BTS. We have tarot cards, we have oracle cards, we have charms, we have letters, we have stickers, and then the last thing we'll do is our homemade oracle deck. It is BTS and MONSTA X themed, and it is a chakra deck. So we'll get into that. But first, we will start with your tarot cards, and what does your root chakra want to tell you? We have the Hierophant. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Lovers. And we have the 4 of Swords.
Okay.
So right off the bat, the first thing that I'm getting from this is with these 2 cards, which is teaching about the things that you've gone through. In my So I'm getting that really strongly. I'm also getting that like right now, this group might need to just kind of rest and relax. And like I feel like this is kind of like what your focus is supposed to be right now. So kind of on like love, partnerships, like relationships, and then also resting at the same time.
I'm also getting that like for this group there could be a like, because the Lovers is Gemini, right? And Gemini has that duality, so it could be about like you have been balancing that masculine and feminine inside. of
Mhm.
yourself. And so that could be a message that's coming through, and like you're working on that. And so like that balance is helping you like create stability for yourself. And with the Hierophant and the Ten of Wands, I was also getting that like you might have, because the Hierophant is all about tradition. And so with the Ten of Wands, you might feel like you have a lot of pressure right now. And again, Gemini is about duality. So I feel like, and with the Four of Swords, I feel like you're starting to like break those chains. And so like now it might be time to kind of rest and recover from like everything you've been carrying, everything you've been unloading, like taking a minute to just breathe, like being within yourself, like taking care of yourself, being nice to yourself as you're going through these things. Um, the fact that that Hierophant has like very bright, vibrant red, like it very much tells me that like you're going places. And like that the only because that red gives me the root chakra, and I feel like that root chakra is expanding. And so I feel like your foundation right now is actually quite big and quite steady. And that's a great thing. And that's probably why you're getting this message of, well, now it's time to teach about the things that you've been through, because
Mhm.
it's going to help someone else.
Yeah, and as you say that, like there are roots on this card.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, the synchronicity is great.
Yes, definitely. So for me, again, like I think that this group, for the most part, like I don't know that they really need to do much when it comes to the root chakra. Like
Mm-mm.
I feel like this group's already pretty balanced. Like you can see, like they have the balance between the red here. They have the balance of the duality. Like with this, 4 is a very balanced number. They
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of completionism because 4 and 10 both can be completion numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like it's already pretty balanced as it is. Like it's pretty even for the most part.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think your root chakra really has too much to say except for like take a break maybe.
Yeah, take a little bit of rest. You worked really hard. You're coming to the end of that cycle where these burdens are going to be lifted. And that gift that might be at the end of this might be that lover's card. It could be that divine partnership. And that could be
Mhm.
romantic or not, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, it could be anything, but I agree that that could be something that's coming in for you if you rest.
Yeah.
We will go ahead and get into Oracle to kind of see a little bit more about what's going on. So the first one we have is Rhino Spirit, which is overcome any obstacle, number 50. We have Butterfly Spirit, which is transformation is beautiful. We have Success, which is I know that there is no greater goal than to love.
That's very soft.
Pink Opal, be kind to yourself. Again, rest. Blushing Bride, your intentions and
Oh,
heart deserve to be known.
wow. There's a lot about romantic love coming in with this group. It's very undeniable.
Yes. Daisy,
Oh.
believe and trust in happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do the chakra cards. So the first one we have, yeah, I felt this one. Solar
Solar
plexus
plexus.
chakra. Yep, rutilated quartz, confidence. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. So that's
Oh,
about,
I think that I found myself a cheerleader.
yes. So be that cheerleader for yourself because, honey, you deserve it. It's basically what they're
Yes.
saying. We have passion, sacral chakra, which is tiger eye. It says turn your fear of change into excitement for change, which there's a tiger eye over here. You need to
Yes.
know. Like, and then we have the last one, which is chakra balance, balance. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit. Clear quartz, rose quartz, and hematite.
Rose quartz is one of my favorite crystals.
Yes, it's also a crystal that is really good for love
Mm-hmm.
and deals with the heart chakra. So, yeah, I feel like this group, like with success and transformation, like there are some things about being nice to yourself and kind of believing. And like, I think that that might be a struggle for this group. But I also think like this group is having a lot of success right now. Like, they have this stuff about love, but they also have all of this stuff about going through a transformation and overcoming obstacles. And again, like I feel like they've already done a lot of the work. And so for this group, I feel like right now it's about being nice to yourself and taking a minute to kind of, breathe and let yourself be happy.
Yeah. Let yourself not fear the change that is coming to you, and instead, like exactly like that card said, be excited for it. So instead of thinking like, oh God, what can go wrong, or like, is it ever gonna get here? Be like, heck yes, it's gonna get here. Be your own cheerleader. Be like, I worked hard for this. Like, I kicked butt, like I kicked my own butt into gear and I worked for this, like I've put love into myself, I've put love into others, I've put love into my projects, and I deserve this, dang it.
Yes. So, hype yourself up. It's okay. You
Mhm.
deserve it. So, you know what? Do it. And passion for me goes right along with all of that. Like, you have this passion, this drive to like keep going. And like for me, like it's all about like be nice to yourself, explore that passion. You know what? Allow yourself to love those things and to be like, you know what? I deserve to, do something that makes me happy and like
Mhm.
believe in that and just go for it because,
Yeah.
you've already gone through all of this stuff to get to this place and it's okay to enjoy it now and
Yeah.
to, take a moment to breathe and be happy.
Yeah. And allow yourself to change. Allow
Yes.
yourself to grow and metamorphosis into the next thing. Because I think there is, sometimes we have this fear of change. And even if it's a good change, sometimes we do fear it because we're like, well, that's gonna change my whole life and I'm gonna be so different than I was. And I think that this group, even like 2 months from now, you're gonna not recognize who you are today,
Yeah.
and in a completely beautiful way. But it is hard to kind of let that go, especially like if you've had a long like past and a long road to get here. And especially 1 year from now, if you were to come back here, I think you would be a completely different person than to who you are right now. But
Hmm.
it's a good thing, so let that change unfold.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't have too much more about the cards. So
Nope.
I'm going to go ahead and get into the charms and the letters here. Okay. Well, blank one.
That can be any letter you want.
Any letter you want. Okay. I. I'm not going to take blank ones. There. Okay. And then let me get some charms, and that usually will bring out a couple more letters. And then I'll move it up so that you can see it a little bit better. Second. Okay.
Oh.
So let me get these situated for you. Okay, we have a W. So W might be important. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, lots of W's.
Oh, 4 of them.
Wow.
R. C again.
You have WWH, which, since this is Jin's pile, Worldwide Handsome.
Yes. Jin saying hello.
Not only that, but I think he is talking about you being your own hype man, and love yourself as much as Jin loves himself.
Yes, that's the goal. We actually just watched, sometimes we'll watch like compilation videos, and there was one we watched earlier that was about like award show reactions for K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the MC on that one, I think. Like he was announcing an award. And one of the fans from the crowd screamed like, "You're so handsome." And he was like, "I am handsome, thank you." And then he just kept going. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like aspire to have that confidence, basically.
Exactly. I also see the word kite, and I have that song, "Let's
Go.
fly
Yep.
a kite."
Yes. I see lit. It's
Yeah.
litty. Yes.
Or
Or
light.
light.
Yeah.
Um,
Hit.
you have
Like,
Yep.
go do that
Kit.
HIIT workout.
You have tile, you have wide, you have wit. So you might be really witty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have these little letters over here too. So they might be initials. Tell us if you see any words in there that we missed that are important to you. Any
Which is in there.
Yeah. Okay. So you might be somebody that associates yourself or considers yourself a witch. You might be like green witch, kitchen witch, something like that. Which, it's cool. We're all here. Yep. I also see Wicked, which is one of my favorite musicals of all time.
Yes, that could be something that means something to you.
Yes, it could.
So we will let you guys play around with those some more. Feel free to spell out to your heart's desire in the comments.
Yes. We have Dream.
Yes. Dream big.
Destiny.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Inspire.
That goes with that teaching card.
Uh-huh. Believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which goes with the card that tells you to believe in your happiness.
Yep. Believe in your dreams.
Mm-hmm. And time.
Okay.
We also
I'm getting from that, like, it's almost time.
Yeah. I feel like, I missed an E as well. But I feel like with this group, like, it's very much this feeling of like you've already put in a lot of time and there's not that much more time that you have to wait. And like just keep believing in yourself and in your dreams and like working on your happiness because it's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Don't stop believing.
Some journey in there. Yes.
Yeah.
You have a postcard. Sorry.
Oh, cute. So that romance you might be manifesting could potentially be long distance, especially because that says I love you on it.
Yes. And you also got the airplane.
Mm-hmm. Travel, long distance relationship, a bike for journeying.
Yeah, you got a lot about that. We have a couple different numbers. We have the number 4.
Which this is group 4, so that's very synchronistic for you.
Mm-hmm. We also have the number 3.
Okay, divine number.
It is a divine number. These could be life path numbers. They could just be numbers that are important to you in some way. You also have a 1. Mm-hmm. Like your number 1 in your life is you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for numbers. You do have a clock.
Okay.
Which makes me think of the song 0 O'Clock by BTS.
Yes.
You should go listen to that song. It's really good. Okay, I swear this has come out in like almost every group.
I think it did come out in every single group.
But this is the circle, which the circle for me, again, is all about cycles and like going through different life cycles. And like, there's a lot of different things that the circle can represent. With this group, again, I think it's something different. With the circle, I feel like with this group, it's feeling whole. And that's by what I mean by that is like feeling like you are completing something. So you're kind of in that place of feeling whole and like, you've kind of found your purpose and found where you're supposed to be. And like, you're starting to work with making yourself happy and feeling whole on your own.
I agree.
You got the black cat. That might go with that witch.
Mm-hmm.
Cats can be spirit animals. They can be guides. Cats are very independent creatures. They're also, very sly, cunning, like they're very quick creatures and they're very curious as well. And I feel like, if you feel like you relate to cats or you see cats a lot, that might be an animal that you need to kind of look at and see like what are some of the traits of this animal and what can I embody? Because that might be why they're around or they might be a totem animal.
I'm not sure if this is a synchronicity for anyone, but I keep hearing Latch by Sam Smith in my head. So if that's an artist you like, or you know someone named Sam, or Smith is your last name, or just, you know, you love that song, like that song makes you happy, like you know, you've had it in your mind that you're going to dance to that song at your wedding, because we have the blushing bride. Very much that song came through very strongly. So I just wanted to put it out there. I don't really have a meaning for it other than, like, you know, that song, like, it's sticking to that, hearing that line, like, now that I've got you in my space, I won't let go of you, like that type of, you know, you and this person are definitely being drawn together. This, like I said, love is coming through extremely strongly here from your root chakra.
Yeah. And that's a great song. You have a horse, which could also be a spirit animal, which horses, they're quick, they're smart, they like to play, but they also know how to rest. They can work really hard, but they also know how to be peaceful.
Yes.
And you got the seahorse, different kind of horse.
Yep, but a horse nonetheless.
Yes, and the seahorse is all about fertility. So you might be working on a new project, a new idea, or might be trying to have a baby. But seahorses are a good omen for that. All of that. You got the turtle, which could signify a couple different things. It could signify going slowly. It could signify being like having a tough shell, like getting through a lot, you know, winning the race because you're not skipping over stuff and trying to go super fast. Like you're taking your time and, you know, learning as you go.
And turtle is actually one of the animals that represents Hyungwon as well.
Yes, it is. A lot of groups got Pegasus too.
Yes.
Which is taking flight.
Yes,
and magic.
Things coming in quickly.
You got the feather.
That's very synchronistic.
Yes. Again.
Yeah, that came out in at least the 3 groups.
Yes. Which is about intuition, spirit guiding you on your path to your dreams. And then we have a couple different signs here. We have Cancer, which on the back, it'll have a word, which is imaginative.
Yeah, that goes with that creative energy that we picked up on.
And then we have Pisces.
Intuition.
Ooh, yes, which is intuitive. So hopefully some of those resonated with you. If you have any messages, stick them in the comments, but we'll get to your BTS stickers. Still a lot, but not as much as pile 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we have the sticker, which is all of them in different environments, which could be travel, but I also see it as doing things that you love. So again, like having that rest period and doing things that make you happy. We have Go Go.
That's a great song by BTS, by the way. Go Go.
This one came out too. Ming.
Yeah, Ming's like got his big boy pants on. He's ready. He's charged.
You have Jin and RJ.
Cute. They're celebrating something, so that's a very good omen.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of questioning right now where you guys are like, oh, when's this thing gonna come? I feel so burdened. Come on.
Yes. And again, that goes right along with that. Like you might be kind of like, hello? Is anybody there?
Did you forget about me, spirit?
Did you forget about me? Like, help me. I'm here. Like, I'm waiting. I'm anxious. Like, please.
Yeah.
Send lots of love into the universe, especially at yourself. So the more love you put out, the more love you get back. But you also have to give yourself love in order to be able to give love to others. So overall, just, you know, outpouring of love.
Yes.
chasing those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You also got the no, no, no.
Yeah.
With this one, this is more of like a ignore the haters to me.
Yeah, ignore the haters. You might be putting things out there right now, and if you are getting any negative feedback, just keep going, because we actually were listening to some wisdom earlier where they were saying that, whenever somebody is hating on you or picking on you, like, it really, you start to learn, like, that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them and their own things that they're triggered by. So it's just better to just keep going and knowing that you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm. You got Chimmy with the thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. You're good to go.
Good to go. And then you got a very happy Koya.
Oh, I feel like this group's going to be very pleasantly surprised when things come in. It's like going to be Christmas morning. And that could be a thing. It might show up for you on Christmas. And what a magical Christmas that would be.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I know that nobody wants to hear that it's going to be like 2 months, but I mean, that would be a great Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you do have DEC, which is December. I just noticed that in the letters. I can see it from right here.
Yeah, well, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do now is the part that we've been anticipating. This is our homemade Chakra deck. This has BTS and MONSTA X on it. So every card has a member or the group, and then the chakra, and then either a quote or lyrics from one of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and shuffle these for you. Each group has been getting 5, so we're just going to say that this group gets 5 too. With these, usually there's some songs that we'll recommend as well.
Yes. While she's shuffling, I just want to point out that we have December, as I said already, and one of the numbers we got was the 4th, which is actually Jin's birthday. So you had his birthday in this group, December 4th.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I thought that was very cute.
That is cute. Okay. Your first card is Minhyuk from MONSTA X, Solar Plexus. I decided to love myself, so please everyone, you love yourself too.
Oh, that quote always gets me right in the heart. You're right, Minnie.
That is correct, sir. So again, this group, it's about confidence and loving yourself and like knowing that it's okay to like love yourself and embrace that.
Yep.
You have another solar plexus chakra. You have J-Hope. It says, don't ever make decisions based on fear. Make decisions based on hope and possibility.
Yeah, again, very beautiful, very synchronistic for this group.
Yes, this group has some solar plexus stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. We have Third Eye, Chingkyun from MONSTA X. I just want to focus. You should never let the sunrise squander from Horizon, which is actually by him. It's I Am. Is his stage name. But that tells me like don't let things go to waste. So like if you have a moment, if something comes in, like live in it, enjoy that moment, be happy with it. Like notice the good things that are around you while you still have them, and like just revel in that moment. So be happy, basically.
Yes.
You got throat chakra, which is Yoongi. I hope we can create an environment where we can ask for help and say things are hard when they're hard and say that we miss someone when we miss them.
Min Yoongi, wisest man to ever walk this earth, I swear.
Yes.
Well, not the wisest, but he's one of. Very high up there.
Yes, definitely. And then the last one, bottom of the deck, is Taehyung from BTS, Heart Chakra. The me of yesterday, the me of today, the me of tomorrow. I'm learning how to love myself with no exceptions. It's all me. Love yourself, BTS.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very fitting for this group.
Yes, definitely. Again, another mic drop.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They've been hitting us with those mic drops at the end of these, and we have nothing else to say, so I'll leave it there.
Yes. So if you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, please leave a comment, a like, hit subscribe. We will be back next week with the sacral chakra. And until then, I hope everybody has a good rest of their night. That's what we have.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.